Welcome. We're going to go over question 199, 200, and 201 if we can fit it on here. So let's do it. A bank surveyed all of its 60 employees to determine the proportion of people who participate in volunteer activities. So we can pretend that they actually asked their employees, and let's say 10 out of the 60 volunteered, and which would mean 50 of the 60 don't volunteer. So that's definitely a yes or no question. The interesting part about this question is that this word all should make you think of the word census. So this isn't a sample because they literally asked everybody. And the reason why that's important is because you don't use inference if you survey everyone. So inference is what we do when we have a lot of people or there's a big population and we don't have time, no money, we don't have enough money to ask everybody, because if we really wanted to know what everybody thought, we would just ask everybody. And if we can ask everybody, then we've already asked everyone, and then there's no point for inference. Because again, inference is what we do when we take a sample and we make an inference about the overall population. In this question, we have the opinions of all the employees. So definitely our answer here is E. The bank does not need to use inference to determine the proportion who participate because the survey was a census of all employees. Next question. Question 200 has, I like this. This is our frequency on the side. So we could look at this data and say it's right skewed, and there's some other information we can glean from it. It says this histogram displays the frequencies of the wait times at a dentist's office for 175 patients. So all of these should add up to 175. What could be the median? So the median is the number in the middle. So we got to do a little math to find that middle. If you have 175 people, so let's see, how many would that be? So that would be 87 people are in the lower half, 87 people are in the upper half, and there's actually one human being in the middle. We can actually find that, and this person who's the median is the 88th person, and half of the people waited longer than that person and half of the people waited shorter than that person. Let's find that 88th person. So it looks like there's 80 people here, and that would be 10, so just right about there. This is this 88th person. So the 88th patient who waited, who half of the patients waited shorter than him, half of the patients waited longer than him, his was somewhere between 5 and just under 10. That's what this histogram means, is between 5 and just under 10. So we're looking for a number that's between 5 and just under 10, and we get our answer B, because it's between 5 and just under 10. Awesome. Okay. Plenty of time to do 201. So 201 is a very interesting question. They give us some data about how much customers spent at an Italian restaurant. And they gave us, it's almost like this is a box plot without the whiskers. They gave us quarter 1, quarter 3, and quarter 2. So this is our median. And we could find the IQR with quarter 3 minus quarter 1. So let's see what type of questions they ask us. They said, at least half of the customers spent less than or equal to 44.27. So let's figure out what this word at least half means. If I tell you to bring at least 3 people to Busch Gardens, that means you could bring 3 people or more than 3 people, but you can bring 3 people. So this question states, at least half of the customers spent less than or equal to 44. Well, in fact, exactly half. But the number is included in the wording of at least half. So this would be a true statement, this first part of it. Because, yes, at least half of the customers spent less than or equal to 44.27, because that's our median. In fact, it's exactly half. I'd like it if it said exactly half or approximately half, but that's still a true statement. Now, the next part says at least half spent greater than 44.27. Now, again, for the same reason, at least half is included in the term at least half. So it is true that half spent greater because that's the median. So this is, in fact, our answer A. Now let's disprove the other ones. It says 75% of the customers spent between there. Well, between quarter 1 and quarter 3 is 50% of the data. So that's not 75. 25% of its customers spent less than or equal to 5. Well, no, that's quarter 3. It's actually 25% spent more than. It would be 75% spent less than that. Or you could say 25% spent more than that. Then it says the remaining 75% spent greater than that. Well, no. This would be true. The remaining 75% spent more than $36. So they flip-flop this. This one's definitely incorrect. The mean amount, okay, so we don't know the mean. This is the median. We'd have to have some additional information. The majority spent. Well, this word means more than 50%, and that doesn't work because more than 50, we only know 50 did greater and 50 did less. So definitely our answer is A. Thanks for joining us.